Watch the ride.
Hey everybody, I am baking in this heat right now. I really need to get moving. It's about 28, 29 degrees I think at the moment. Pigeon. If you remember back a video or two, I said I was going to be changing the sprockets and chain on my DRZ and I'd do a video on that. I'm afraid that hasn't happened. The reason that hasn't happened is because doing that job turned into a nightmare. An absolute nightmare. So many things just went wrong. But I also want to talk about a common issue you get with DRZs, and I got really lucky that, well, that I'm still here, maybe. But it is for that reason that I'm on the XJ6, even though it's going to cook me to death. I need to get out, make some videos, go for a ride, chill. Okay then, so what happened? Well, basically, I ordered the chain and sprockets. I got a chain that was slightly too long, but I didn't realise that until the last minute. Well, literally when I had the bike apart. It was also a rivet link, and I don't like rivet links. I prefer split links, so I had to order a split link, which hasn't arrived yet, and that's why I'm not riding them as yet. Doing the job itself was a ball ache, because halfway through it, I was making the video, and I've already done a video on changing chain and sprockets, so I was doing it a bit more sort of just hanging out in the garage, chatting about different things, you know. But through most of the first part, I kept getting disturbed by people making noise, and then I put my back out, and that was the end of it, because I went from I'm doing this video, chatting away, which takes longer than doing the job, to I just have to get this finished because I have to get my garage back together and the bike back together. I have to get this done, and my back, oh my god, it was so painful. At one point where it kept sort of half giving out because I've been going on for so long with it when it was still hurting, it kind of half gave out and I face planted into the side of Derek. None of this, I'm afraid, was recorded because by that point I turned the camera off and was just like, I give up, I've got to just get this bike done. The rear wheel on the DRZ is a pain in the arse to get off because, well, A, I've got a 160 tyre on it, not a 150. I know there's videos out there at the moment, recently, people talking about that. On the DRZ, it seems to be the done thing. I like the way it rides on the 160. It wasn't a looks thing. It also gives me more options in tyres. That's why, but do as you wish. Yes, it's probably not the best tyre for that wheel. Whatever, I'm just going to get that out of the way. But it makes it wider, so it's harder to get out, so you have to take the chain guard off. It's also a pain in the arse for the DRZ because you have to somehow get the rear caliper up and out at the same time you're holding the wheel up in the air, which simultaneously is the same time that you're pulling the axle out. Doing it by yourself is a ball ache unless you can get the rear wheel to be just touching something so the weight's off it. You know, I've taken the wheel off that thing so many times. Sometimes it goes smoothly, sometimes it doesn't. It really didn't on this occasion. So yeah, that's why there's not a video. But the lucky thing, the thing that's like, geez, I am lucky I'm still here, maybe, depending, or at least doing well. And this is the common fault that DRZs are known for, is the countershaft nut, that being the nut that holds the front sprocket on. They undo themselves. Is that really... Is that really that loose? It feels like it's moving. I was expecting to need to get my impact gun out. I was expecting to have an awful lot of problems, and I have got so lucky here. Basically, this countershaft nut on a DRZ, they are known for walking off. And I've never had that problem, but that's just come off by hand, and the only thing that was holding it on was the tab washer. That is what was stopping everything. I'm not impressed with myself about that. Oh shit! When I last changed my sprockets, when I put that front sprocket on, countershaft nut on myself, I know for a fact that I torqued it to 105 foot-pounds rather than the stock 80, although I believe they've actually now raised what the manual says from 80 foot-pounds to 105. Loctited it, and I used the tab washer, and when I came to take that off, the whole reason I was doing the video in my garage was because I knew I was probably going to have to use the impact gun to get it off. It undid with my hand, which meant that it undone itself, but it was so loose that literally it was just like that. Which meant I could have filmed outside, which would have given me more space. I probably wouldn't have done my back in and whatever. Just, it was a nightmare job, as I say. this is the thing, right? I don't understand it because all bikes, pretty much all bikes, use a nut and a tab washer, or at least some derivative of that. Some of them have retaining systems with like 2 bolts and stuff, whatever. But the point is, a lot of bikes, including 125s, use a single countershaft nut and a tab washer, and you just do it up. And they don't undo themselves. But for some reason, the DRZ just loves to take itself to pieces. Does anyone have... I mean, I don't think anyone's got an answer for this, because if they did, we'd know what the problem was. You know, the forums are rife with theories on this stuff and how to fix it. Like, there's the known fix. Well, I did the known fix, the £105, the Loctite, although I used blue, not red, and the tab washer, you know, it still undid it. At this time, as I say, I've done it up to the same thing. I've used too much Loctite, and I've folded over multiple sides of that tab washer. If this thing comes undone now, it will actually be impressive. It is right-hand thread, so, you know, you loosen it by turning it to the left, and that is the way that the engine turns. Obviously, the sprocket turns this way because you're going forwards, and that's the way you undo the nut. So, when it drives, it should, in my mind, tighten it. If it's going to do anything, because it's going to be trying to twist faster than the nut, so the inertia of the nut's going to be like getting twisted on. But it undoes itself, and I don't know if that's something to do with engine braking or whether there is a tolerance issue somewhere. Where are we going? Go this way. But yeah, the DRZ is known for it. So yeah, that's one of the common problems with the DRZ. Countershaft nuts just undoing themselves. And apologies there isn't a video of me doing that. As I say, when my back went, it was just get this video done. I think it ended up taking me four or more hours to do the chain and sprockets that would normally only take me, what, hour and a half if you do it at a chilled pace. Just because the amount of things that happened and the amount of pain I was in. Wish I had the footage of me face planting the side of the bike. I was kind of like bent over because of my back, because I get stuck that way, and if I try and stand up, then my arms, well, my legs start jiggling because of the nerve problems, and then I start getting a bit of loss of use of my hands and stuff. It's not great. I've got to go back to the doctors about my back, because the results came back and they're like, we're not really sure, but you need to see you. And it's like, well, okay, when's an appointment? And you know, they're like, oh, 6 months. So I don't know exactly what's going on, but it ain't right. I know that much. Good thinkers, thank you. So there you go, that's what's been going on. I've had a bit of a nightmare few days. I've also had a couple of days off to try and relax, chill, take a little bit of time away from YouTube and everything, and spend it with Reno, and it was good. I really enjoyed it. Thank you for watching. Apologies there wasn't that video, but I am now about to make a series of videos getting lost in these wonderful lands. So join me in the next one. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel, like the video. If you feel like supporting me, there are many ways to do that. It's really, really helpful. It helps me keep doing this. It's really important. Thank you very much. Bye-bye. This channel is made possible by the support of the audience. Please check out the links in the description and all the different ways you can help support the channel. Any help is greatly appreciated.